My name is Emma, and until a few nights ago I honestly believed my family cared about me. It began with the smallest thing, a notification. My aunt had sent me a video. I was in the middle of making dinner when my phone buzzed. I wiped my hands on a towel, picked it up, and opened the message without thinking. At first I assumed it was something harmless, maybe a random family clip or some old recording she dug up for fun. But then I heard my mother's voice. Emma should be grateful. She'd have nothing if it weren't for us. My stomach twisted. The video was shaky, like someone had set their phone down and forgotten it was recording, but every word was painfully clear. She's a pathetic failure, my father added with a laugh. At least she's useful for something, paying our bills. More laughter. I felt my fingers tighten around my phone. If Emma ever stops sending money, my aunt, the same aunt who had just sent me this, said with a smug little snort, "We'll just guilt her again. She's too soft to refuse." My whole body went cold. Emma. My name. They weren't talking about some generic scenario. They were talking about me. I'd been supporting them for years. Rent, debts, emergencies, everything, while scraping by myself. And this is how they spoke about me behind my back. I just sat there, frozen, my thumb hovering over the screen, when suddenly the video vanished. This message has been unsent. My aunt must have realized what she'd done. Panic. Delete the evidence. Hope I hadn't watched it in time. I should have confronted her. Or at least replied. I should have said something, anything. But instead, I set my phone down and acted like nothing happened. That was the moment I decided not to react. Not yet. I had a plan. I sat in silence for what felt like hours, staring at the blank screen. Their words kept looping in my head. Emma should be grateful. A pathetic failure. She's too soft to say no. I wanted to convince myself it was a misunderstanding, that maybe they were joking or the context was missing. But deep down I knew better. They meant every word. And the worst part? They weren't wrong about one thing. I had been too soft. How many times had they guilt-tripped me into helping? How many times had I put my own goals aside to keep them comfortable? My dad's temporary financial problems turned into me paying rent for years. My brother's tuition, which he never finished. My mom's endless emergencies that always lined up perfectly with my paychecks. And I did it all because I kept telling myself that's what family does. I spent years believing they appreciated the sacrifices I made, that they cared, that they loved me. But that video crushed whatever illusion I had left, and now they probably thought they'd dodged a bullet. My aunt had unsent the message. Maybe she even reassured everyone, "Don't worry, Emma didn't see it." They assumed I was still clueless, still obedient, still their reliable little financial lifeline. Let them think that. Let them stay comfortable, just a little longer. In a few days, their next due payment was coming up. And this time, things would not go the way they expected. The next morning, everything felt strangely the same and completely different. The light through my curtains looked normal, my coffee tasted the same, but there was this new clarity hovering over everything, like I was suddenly watching my life from the outside. My phone buzzed. A text from my mom. "Morning, sweetie, just checking on you, hope you're okay." I stared at the message, too casual, too friendly. She never reached out unless she wanted something. And sure enough, minutes later, "Oh, by the way, rent is due soon. Can you send it by Friday?" There it was, the pattern, the routine, the script I had been following for years. But not this time. I typed out my response. My fingers hovered, instinctively wanting to say something apologetic, of course. "No problem, sorry for the delay." But I deleted it all. Instead, I sent just 3 words. "I can't this month." And for the first time, I didn't feel guilty as I hit send. For a few seconds, I just stared at the screen before finally hitting send. I set my phone down and waited. 1 minute, 2 minutes. Then, buzz. "Mom, what do you mean you can't?" I could practically feel the irritation radiating through the text. I had never said no before. Not once. I didn't answer immediately. Instead, I took a slow sip of my coffee and let her sit in that confusion. More notifications followed. "Mom, Emma, this is serious. We're depending on you. You know we don't have any other options right now." Another buzz. My aunt this time. "Aunt, hey sweetie, your mom is freaking out. Is everything all right?" I almost laughed. Is everything all right? Sure, wonderful. I had spent years funding their lives, and the moment I even hinted at pulling back, they spiraled. Not one of them asked how I was doing. Not one checked if I needed anything, because it was never about me. It never had been. I inhaled deeply and typed my reply. "Me, I have some unexpected expenses this month. I can't send anything. Sorry." That was it. No excuses, no drawn-out explanation, no apologizing for existing. And then I waited. What happened next told me everything I needed to know. The silence was almost suffocating. For the first time in years, I had refused, and they had absolutely no idea what to do with that. I watched the typing dots appear, vanish, appear again. I could picture my mom sitting there, furious, trying to craft the perfect line to reel me back in. Finally, her message came through. Mom, unexpected expenses? What could possibly matter more than your family? There it was, the guilt trip, the tried and true tactic. I refused to respond. I let the words sit there and rot. Less than 60 seconds later, Mom, you know your brother can't pay his rent on his own. If he gets evicted, that'll be your fault. Ah yes, the brother guilt card. Predictable. Then another. Mom, we raised you, Emma. We took care of you when you had nothing. This is how you repay us? My jaw tightened. When I had nothing, they never supported me. I got myself through school. I juggled 3 jobs just to escape that house. And the moment I became financially stable, they clamped onto me like parasites, draining whatever they could. I had nothing because they took everything. Another buzz. Aunt, Emma, sweetheart, don't do this. We're family. Your mom is just upset. You know how she gets. Just send the rent and we'll all calm down. Everything will go back to normal. Back to normal, normal for them. I set my phone down and stepped away, heart thudding. I needed a minute. I poured a glass of water, staring at the clock as I took slow, steady sips. I could sense something shifting inside me, something I'd spent years avoiding. I had been terrified of this moment, convinced that if I ever stopped paying, they'd abandon me, they'd cut me off, they'd reject me. But now I realized the truth. They never loved me. They loved what I provided. And the second the money stopped, they were showing me exactly who they really were. Another buzz. I picked up my phone, hands steady now. A message from my father. Dad, Emma, I don't know what's gotten into you, but this is unacceptable. You're being selfish. This family needs you, and you're acting like an ungrateful brat. Grow up and do the right thing. There it was, the mask gone completely. No sugary tone, no fake concern, just pure entitlement. My heart hammered as I stared at his words. And then another notification, this one different. A voice message from my aunt. My fingers trembled. She never sent audio. Her cruelty usually came wrapped in passive-aggressive sweetness, not raw tone. Something in my gut told me pressing play would cross a line I couldn't uncross. I hovered. My thumb over the button, hesitated, then finally tapped. Her voice burst through, sharp and irritated. Emma, listen, I don't know what kind of stunt you think you're pulling, but this isn't amusing. Your mother is losing it, your father's furious, and honestly, I can't blame them. You've always been, well, a bit ungrateful, but this is beyond selfish. My stomach constricted, but I forced myself to keep listening. You make good money, don't you? More than any of us. You don't even need it. Meanwhile, your family is struggling and what? You just wake up one day and decide you don't care? Please. After everything they've done for you, after all their sacrifices? They gave you life, Emma, and now you're going to walk away like they don't matter? What kind of daughter does that? She let out a frustrated sigh. And for a moment, I thought she was finished, but then her voice shifted, deeper, colder, almost venomous. You know what? She said. If this is the kind of person you want to be, fine. But don't expect them to forgive you. Don't think you can come crawling back when you realize how much you actually need them. Once you cross this line, Emma, there's no coming back from it. The message cut off. Silence swallowed the room. I just stood there, letting her words echo in my mind. My thumb hovered over the replay button, but my hands felt numb, my ears buzzing with adrenaline. By all logic, I should have been terrified. I should have been scrambling to mend things, to apologize, to smooth it over. That's what I'd always done. But instead, something strange happened. I felt calm. No, more than calm. I felt light. Because she had finally said out loud what I had been too afraid to admit. They didn't love me. They didn't respect me. They didn't even view me as a human being. To them, I was nothing but money, an ATM with a heartbeat. And now that the cash flow had stopped, I was worthless. And if that was how they truly saw me, then maybe it was time to be worthless to them entirely. My phone buzzed again. Another message from my mother. Mom, last chance, Emma, send the rent. I stared at it for a long, heavy moment. Then, without hesitation, I hit block. I blocked her. Then my father. Then my aunt. And just like that, for the first time in years, I felt like I had cut the last rope tying me to a sinking ship. I was free, or so I thought. Because the next morning someone knocked on my door. The sound jolted through me. Too early, far too early. The sun wasn't even fully up yet. For a moment I tried to convince myself it was a delivery or someone from the building. Anything but the truth I knew in my gut. Then came another knock, harder, impatient. I drew in a shaky breath, forced my feet forward, and reached for the handle. My heart hammered like it was trying to punch its way out of my chest. I turned the lock and opened the door. There he was, my brother, Jason. His expression was twisted somewhere between anger and desperation. His shirt was wrinkled, his hair a mess, dark circles under his eyes. He looked like he hadn't slept at all. "Are you kidding me, Emma?" he snapped the moment he saw me. "What the hell is wrong with you?" I blinked, keeping my voice even. "Good morning to you too." "Don't," he hissed. "Don't act like this is nothing. You blocked everyone. Mom's losing it, Dad's furious, and you're just, what, cutting us off? Pretending your family doesn't exist?" I crossed my arms, leaning against the frame. "I don't know, Jason. Maybe I got tired of being used like a bank machine." His jaw tightened. "Oh my God, not this again." A short, humorless laugh escaped me. "Not this again? Jason, I've been paying your rent for years. I've covered your bills, your food, even that stupid gym membership you. And the one time I say no, the first boundary I've ever set, Mom calls me selfish, Dad calls me ungrateful, and you show up at my door like I committed a felony." He opened his mouth to argue, but nothing came out. So I kept going. "And don't pretend you suddenly care about me," I said quietly. "I saw the video." His entire face drained of color. For the first time, something like real fear flickered in his eyes. What video?" I smiled, but it wasn't friendly. "You know exactly which video." Jason shifted awkwardly, looking away, fists clenching. Look, it wasn't serious, okay? We were just messing around. You're blowing it out of proportion." "Messing around?" My voice was soft, but every word was sharp. "You all sat there laughing. Calling me a pathetic failure. Saying I should be grateful to pay your bills. Do you even understand what that does to a person, Jason? Hearing your family talk about you like that?" He exhaled harshly, rubbing his forehead. "Emma, come on." "No," I cut in. "You come on. You want money? Get a job. You want someone to bankroll your life? Find another target. Because I'm done." Silence fell. He stared at me, and for a moment something raw and real crossed his face. Hurt, maybe, or disbelief, but it vanished in an instant, replaced by anger. "You don't mean that," he muttered. I held his gaze. "I do." Another heavy pause. Then his expression twisted into something ugly. "Fine," he spat. "Be a selfish BTCH. Go ahead. But don't come crawling back when you realize you've got no one left." And with that, he turned on his heel and stalked away. I watched him leave, my chest tight but my spine straight. Because he was wrong. I did have someone left. I had me. I pushed the door closed, exhaling shakily. And then my phone buzzed again. I glanced down at the screen. The familiar name glowing on the screen made my stomach TW. It was my mother. But I wasn't answering, not this time. I had lived under her thumb for years, bowing to every demand, every guilt trip, every emotional ambush she crafted to make me feel responsible for holding the entire family together. Not anymore. I flipped the phone face down and walked away. I realized something. The truth I had been avoiding for years. I was done. Done being their endless stream of money. Done being the backup plan, the safety net, the person they fell back on whenever their lives started, collapsing because of their own choices. Done pretending their manipulation was love. They had never once asked how I was doing. Never once wondered what carrying all of them was doing to my mental health. I had carried the weight of the entire family, my mother, my father, my brother, for so long that they began treating it like a debt I still owed. Like I was living to repay them. But no one had ever asked what I needed, not once, and now I was taking my life back. It didn't go unnoticed. The next morning, as I sat in my living room, the quiet was almost suffocating. The reality of my choice settled over me like a heavy blanket, but not 1 ounce of regret tugged at me. No doubt, no wavering. I knew I'd finally made the only decision that could save me. Then the doorbell rang. I didn't even flinch. I already knew who it was. Jason. His knock carried that same familiar impatience, that entitled edge, the last person I wanted to see. But the one person I wasn't surprised to find on my doorstep. I opened the door slowly, holding a neutral expression. "Emma," he blurted out, the arrogance gone, replaced with something shaky, something almost pleading. "You need to just listen to me." I didn't budge. I didn't invite him in. I kept my arms folded across my chest. "I don't think there's anything you can say that I need to hear." He blinked, thrown off. "No, you don't get it." His voice cracked, softer now. "Mom's losing it. Dad's calling nonstop asking what happened. They don't know how to fix any of this. You cut everybody off. You can't just leave us like this." I let out a short laugh. "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you honestly think I'd keep pouring money into your bills, your rent, your life, while pretending everything was totally fine? No, Jason. I'm finished. I don't care how much Mom begs or how angry Dad gets. I'm not the family ATM anymore." His expression tightened, anger sparking behind his eyes. "So that's it? You're acting like we've never done anything for you. Like we're just leeches? I didn't even flinch. Jason, don't insult both of us. I know exactly what I've been to you. A walking wallet, a simple solution to every mistake you made. And I'm exhausted. His jaw flexed. You can't just cut us off. You owe us, Emma. The word hit me hard, but instead of breaking, it hardened me. Owe you? I've given all of you everything I had. I paid your rent. I covered your groceries. I handled your bills while you sat there and shrugged. And you want to talk about owing? His fists curled tight at his sides. You're going to regret this. You'll regret shutting us out. I smiled, a cold, quiet smile. No, Jason, you will regret it. I'm not the one who needs you. And before he could spit out another insult, I slammed the door in his face. It felt incredible. But I knew this wasn't over, not by a long shot. Later that night, my phone buzzed again. I almost ignored it, but curiosity tugged at me. A message from my father. Dad, we raised you, Emma. You can't just throw away everything we've done for you. You're making a huge mistake. Come back and we'll figure this out together. We can fix it. I could practically hear the desperation between the lines. I stared at the message for a moment, the phone warm in my hand. I could have blocked him right then. But no, I had a better idea. I wasn't just going to shut the door on them. I was going to make them face the truth they'd ignored for years. I got up, walked to my desk, and opened my laptop. It was time to send a message they could never twist or manipulate. I started organizing, pulling up every bank statement, every transfer, every receipt, every late bill I'd paid for them, every emergency I'd bailed them out of. They wanted to talk about everything they'd done for me? Fine. I'd show them everything I had done for them. At the top of the email, I wrote, "Here is a full record of every dollar I've spent supporting you over the years. I'm no longer your financial crutch. I'm no longer letting you guilt-trip me for choosing myself. This is my final invoice. You don't owe me money, but you will owe yourselves the understanding of just how much I sacrificed because I believed family should lift each other up, not drain each other dry." Then I attached every document, every receipt, every piece of proof. But I wasn't finished. I opened the family group chat, the same place they used to bombard me with demands, emotional threats, and endless pity stories, and scrolled through the history, reading each message where they insisted they needed me, where they twisted the knife juice. Tea enough to keep me obedient. Then I typed, "You talk so much about what you've done for me, but you've forgotten everything I've sacrificed for you. You didn't need me. You used me. I'm done. This is the last time you hear from me. Do not contact me again." And I hit send. The silence that followed was delicious. I leaned back, breathing in a sense of freedom I hadn't felt in years. No more calls, no more manipulation, no more pretending they had any kind of hold over my decisions. They could keep their guilt, their lies, their twisted stories. I was done playing their game. But just before I turned off my phone, one last notification popped up. "Jason, you're messing up, Emma. You'll regret this. Family sticks together." I let out a quiet laugh. I could see exactly what he was trying to do. But the hook that used to pull me in, it was gone. I didn't need them. I had my own life now, my own peace. And for the first time, that was enough. It wasn't the explosion I once imagined, no dramatic screaming match, no long speech. But in its own subtle, powerful way, it was perfect. I had reclaimed my life without any of them ever seeing it coming. As I shut my phone off and let the room fall into darkness, a calm settled over me, a calm I hadn't felt in years. I didn't need revenge, I needed freedom, and I finally had it. So yeah, what a journey, right? It's wild how much Emma endured and how quietly but powerfully she took her life back. Some people might say she should have tried harder to fix things. Others will say she finally did what she should have done years ago. What do you think? Was Emma's silent revenge satisfying? Or do you think she went too far? Drop your thoughts below. I really want to know what side you're on.